Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now TikTok? Is it even possible that an old guy like me is addicted to these social media apps? So when the kids were here under our roof, parenting was a freaking full-time job. And one of the things that concerned my wife and I the most was social media. And to say that we didn't trust the people who developed it, well, that might be an understatement. But now that the kids are gone, what about my relationship with social media? Look, as someone who is over 50, I'm supposed to know better about this stuff. But I think I might have a problem with social media. And I don't take addiction lightly. I am at an age where addiction and we've crossed paths in friends and family more than I would care to admit. But addiction to social media, is this even a thing? Well, apparently it is a thing. But me, come on, I know better than to fall into Zuckerberg's trap. I see what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna get sucked into that social media abyss. Or am I? I decided to check my screen time, and when I did, it was kind of frightening how much time I was actually spending in these social apps, just kind of scrolling with no purpose and getting sucked into that rabbit hole. Take Instagram, for instance. I kind of like scrolling through Instagram and looking at the photos and kind of checking out what's going on. And they recently released something called Instagram Reels. Well, these things are freaking sticky as heck. I mean, once you start watching them, I find myself just kind of scrolling mindlessly through them over and over and over again. With all this scrolling, with all this time spent, I'm looking for a benefit. I'm like, okay, is this making me a better parent or a better husband or someone who's more informed in my community? What is it doing for me? What is it adding to my life? So once I had this realization, I did what I typically do, which is to dig into it on the internet, to do some research on this stuff. What is really going on with the psychological effects of social media, and is it a good or a bad thing? Well, I could give you a whole list of kind of research and articles, but I don't think that's very useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple of examples from my life, things that I've noticed about how social media is impacting my day-to-day time on this planet. So the first thing that really hit home with me is they have something called comparison mode. And that's when you're comparing yourself to the people that you see and follow on Instagram or Facebook. Well, I'm an over 50 personal trainer, and over time I've followed more and more fitness folks because I want to see what they're doing, what they're recommending, all of that stuff. Well, guess what? Those people, by and large, are much younger than me, and those people, they're doing different things than I do, because a lot of them I can't do. And now on a conscious level, I don't think that I look at them and think, oh, I'm bummed out, I can't do that. But when I read the research and I thought about it, could this be affecting me on a subconscious level? Could it be kind of making me feel bad about the things that they're doing that I can't do? Well, I think that is a very definite possibility. The next thing that really hit home with me was kind of this time-wasting, motivation-killing thing that social media apps do to me. I mean, maybe I'm on my way to do something. I have a plan, and I pick up the damn phone and I start scrolling. And before I know it, I am deep within the rabbit hole. I mean, I have lost track of time, and I am in search of that little dopamine hit that you get when you find something that really hits home with you. And that search for that dopamine hit, well, it's taken me off track. I've now kind of lost my purpose. I've lost my motivation. I have spent time kind of mindlessly flipping through those screens. And to get that motivation back, to get back on track, well, it takes a little bit longer than if I have never detoured into social media world in the first place. I used to tell myself that, scrolling through social media was like me time. It was a little bit of a de-stressor, and it was something that I could do and just chill out. Well, the truth is actually the opposite. What happens to me when I start scrolling through social media, and what might happen for you, is I see all of these other people, and they are having these fabulous, fantastic, curated lives, and I'm presented with kind of the best life possible. And so then what happens, I start to examine my life. I start to examine how my life compares with what I'm seeing, and it doesn't stack up. And because it doesn't stack up, I feel like I'm somehow falling behind, like I'm somehow not doing enough or being enough. And that break that I set out to have at the beginning, well, I'm actually feeling a little bit stressed out and unhappy after scrolling social media for a while. And if all of this negative stuff is true and I'm still doing it, doesn't that mean I have a problem? Am I addicted? It might be too strong a word. Am I compulsive? Yeah. Do I have a dependency? Probably. So then if I admit this, and I think I just did, I have to do something about it. I think the saying is, if I'm not the problem, there is no solution. Well, I am definitely the problem in this scenario, and it's now my responsibility to change my behavior. So what I'm going to do, my commitment here, is to do a 30-day social media detox. I am going to remove all of the social apps off of my phone and my iPad, and I will just not use them except for 2 periods of time during the day. When I sit down at my computer on my laptop, I will allow myself 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and 10 to 15 minutes in the afternoon. I'm not going to mindlessly scroll. I'm going to pay attention to what people are saying and doing, and the things that I have a response for, the things that move me in some way, I'm going to comment on those things or give them a thumbs up, or maybe I'll give them a thumbs down. And when I'm done, when those time periods are over, I'm going to sign off and be done for the day. Will it work? Well, I don't know the answer to that. That's why I'm doing it. But I can promise you it's going to be interesting. And I can promise you in 30 days' time, I will be back with a new video, and I'm going to update you on how things went and how my life is the same or different after my 30-day social media detox.